Jenny Coffey, and I'm here to let you know that you are significant. And we're all about the significance of the words God chose in prophecy and how simple they really are, that it's symbols that speak in a language to our spirit as that He does reveal that His salvation is a spiritual kingdom. Dividing then between the kingdom on earth and things that are going on is very natural, and God knows all about it. But where the personality and the political opinions come in, there's where He expects some discipline on your part to have the restraint of your own reach to your own boundary and use good judgment for yourself. And the position that you're in, whatever office that might be, respecting those boundaries and the purpose, and what that is supposed to be giving to our society. But we have a crisis management system. So one has to think about, are they voting? Well, and I suppose, okay, well, you have to think about it because people are thinking about it far too much. A survival of an incident of some sort of calamity. And I do think that some do know this is what's going on. And secrets have a way of making people feel like, they got theirs. And so, you're excluded. And God's very much against that. We don't have to worry if they leave us out, which was my dream. If there is a cataclysm and they leave us out, that's what God wants. He wants you to be out. You'll be able to help more people, and He's going to take care of you right where you're at. And as much as you're aware of, that's what you'll be met with. He shows Himself upright to the upright. And we are meant to be humble. So those meant to die, I don't think that we have a lot to worry about, because that's what we'll be fit for and ready for when that comes. If we're fit for captivity, then we wouldn't have had the strength of the independence to have fought for ourselves, let alone put that self and that strength of willpower in a context outside of ourselves and discipline towards that word so that we know the direction to aim it. So He's going to give you what you're ready for. And why that we should be concerned about whether someone else's are dying, whether someone else is going to be raptured, or whether or not we're going to be standing in a place when the spiritual makeover comes down and earth begins to return to its heavenly natural laws and orders that are unlikely. But it will be easier the more that you read and prepare yourself in choosing to behave with what you've read. But again, study. I always talk about study. I wanted to talk today about being reasonable and being prepared in study, and that's all fields. Now we're facing, as war is divided, and I speak of how the kingdoms are divided, and you have to look at things in a kingdom way if you're going to understand prophecy at all. And I think the most simplest thing is to look at the horse, the stars over, and the banner, the smelting of the riches, and the overlay of gold and hammers beating it out in front of them. And of course, the spies enter first. And we have a lot of that language of what an evil spy is. so many just are disruptors and have been trained to be disruptors. They speak value on a language that God says we will end up just putting up with so much of that as Christians, we become no good because that's what we do. We confuse the issues. We want to argue right and wrong. We turn the whole thing into political and law. And now, if you're not doing something that is against the law, you're going to get arrested. And if you're going to arrest somebody, then you need to go about that in a way that isn't biased. And we've lost all these things. We've lost, even the courtroom where you can't be represented. We've lost it at work where that employees are now being given more power to punish you and control you as they want this vaccine, insurance, risk management idea right there where you are in front of you and your boss, so that he is going to be monitoring you like you're a doctor patient that's lying. You're not going to deserve anything you get, so it's not going to be a reward system. But I was looking last night at the SIPA, the Columbia University, making talks with a lot of our the two highest election officials we have over elections, and she talks to some global bankers, and they talk about world monitoring, and they're really out for the ID. But one thing was very stark was that they really revealing how empty they are aside from the argument. Winning the argument, the whole censorship, that's why there's nothing there. There's nothing there. They're arguing for laws that will pay someone else. There's not any big change coming. All of the internet and fiber optics have been laid in most places. We're not going to get much more than that. We're getting upgrades for virtual reality without, our own private access to that. But they don't have the money. This is about just punishing anyone that does not regurgitate, being someone that just confuses and stirs up trouble and down, everyone else. But you only have that one political opinion left. They're out of money. And everything they talk about with discrimination, they're discriminating. Bias creates discrimination. You can't just say, nobody's saying anything bad about this class, this race, or whatever. It is the favoritism that is going to have to be looked at. And they're not interested in any way in anything but money going to particular people on their side. They're it's actually focusing on people because of discrimination, but that there's no money for Africa to get their vaccine. Of course, we don't want the vaccine, but I'm going to stop this and start over because I wanted to talk about the technology of the vaccine.